Neo-Ottomanism is an imperialist Turkish political ideology that, in its broadest sense, promotes greater political engagement of the Republic of Turkey within regions formerly under the rule of the Ottoman Empire, the predecessor state that covered the territory of modern Turkey among others. The term has most recently been associated with Recep Tayyip Erdogan's interventionist and expansionist foreign policy in neighboring Cyprus, Greece, Iraq, Syria, as well as in Africa, including Libya and Nagorno-Karabakh. However, the term has been rejected by members of the Erdogan government, such as the Foreign Minister Ahmet Davutoglu and Parliament Speaker Mustafa Şentop. One of the first uses of the term was in a Chatham House paper by David Barchard in 1985, in which Barchard suggested that a neo-Ottoman option might be a possible avenue for Turkey's future development. It seems also to have been used by the Greeks sometime after Turkey's invasion of Cyprus in 1974. In the 21st century, the term has come to signify a domestic trend in Turkish politics, where the revival of Ottoman traditions and culture has been accompanied by the rise of the Justice and Development Party during their election campaigns. These domestic ideals have also seen a revival of neo-Ottomanism in the AKP's foreign policy, besides acting as a clear distinction between them and ardent supporters of secularism. The social Ottomanism advocated by the AKP has served as a basis for their efforts to transform Turkey's existing parliamentary system into a presidential system, favoring a strong centralized leadership similar to that of the Ottoman era. Critics have thus accused Erdogan of acting like an Ottoman sultan. Neo-Ottomanism has been used to describe Turkish foreign policy under the Justice and Development Party, which took power in 2002 under Erdogan, who subsequently became prime minister. Neo-Ottomanism is a dramatic shift from the traditional Turkish foreign policy of the Kemalist ideology, which emphasized looking westward towards Europe. The shift away from this concept in Turkish foreign policy under Turgut Özal's government has been described as the first step towards Neo-Ottomanism. The Ottoman Empire was an influential global power which, at its peak, controlled the Balkans and most of the modern-day Middle East. Neo-Ottomanist foreign policy encourages increased engagement in these regions as part of Turkey's growing regional influence. This foreign policy contributed to an improvement in Turkey's relations with its neighbors, particularly with Iraq, Iran and Syria. However, Turkey's relations with Israel, once Turkey's ally, suffered, especially after the 2008-09 Gaza war and the 2010 Gaza flotilla raid. Ahmet Davutoglu, Turkish foreign minister from 2009 to 2014 and head architect of the new foreign policy, has, however, rejected the term neo-Ottomanism to describe his country's new foreign policy. Turkey's new foreign policy started a debate, principally in the Western media, as to whether Turkey is undergoing an axis shift. In other words, whether it is drifting away from the West and heading towards the Middle East and Asia. Such fears appear more frequently in Western media when Turkish tensions with Israel rise. Then President Abdullah Gül dismissed claims that Turkey has shifted its foreign policy axis. Davutoglu worked to define Turkey's new foreign policy on the principle of zero problems with neighbors, as opposed to neo-Ottomanism, which he feared could be perceived as expansionist. Soft power is regarded as particularly useful